woman named Iris is completely broken. Her son recently died, and that pain, it's eating her up from the inside. One morning, while her husband's still asleep, she quietly takes a small knife from the drawer and slips it into her pocket. She also grabs her late son's toy boat, the kind kids play with in bathtubs or puddles. Then she drives off, alone. She reaches a forest. This is the same place where her son had died. She walks a rocky path, climbs all the way up to a quiet spot where there's a small memorial. She places the toy boat there, like a final goodbye, and then carves her son's initial into the rock, next to hers and her husband's. After that, she walks to the edge of the cliff. She's ready to end everything. Her pain is just too big. But right when she's about to jump, a man appears. He says his name is Richard. Now, here's the weird part. He tells her he knows what she's planning, but he's not there to stop her. He just wants to talk. Iris isn't interested, but Richard keeps talking anyway. He shares his story, like someone who's been holding it in for years. He loved cars, had a great one during college. One day, he crashed it with his girlfriend Chloe in the passenger seat. She didn't make it. He was stuck in bed for months, completely lost, but somehow he came out of it and found a new purpose. This hits Iris hard. She starts opening up too. She tells him how her family was hiking, and while her husband was carving initials into a tree, their little boy wandered off to look for sticks, for marshmallows, you know, the kind of thing kids get excited about. But he went too far and fell off a cliff. She was right there and still couldn't save him, and she hasn't forgiven herself. Richard listens quietly. Then he says he's leaving, and she can do whatever she wants. But as he walks away, something stirs in Iris. That heavy weight inside her, it shifts. She suddenly realizes maybe she doesn't want to die. Not like this. Not today. She runs after him. Back at the parking lot, Richard gets into his car. It's parked right next to hers. Iris tries to get into her own, but something's off. The door won't open. That's when Richard steps out, holding an umbrella, which is weird, because it's not raining. Iris asks why he's holding it, and he just says, rain can start anytime. But then he drops the bomb. The umbrella is a stun device. Before she can react, he shocks her. Everything goes black. She wakes up tied up inside Richard's car. Panic sets in. She's been kidnapped. Her hands and feet are tied, and they're heading somewhere far, somewhere remote. She tries using her smartwatch to call for help, but there's no signal. Her phone's gone. Then she remembers the knife in her pocket. Slowly, carefully, she starts cutting the plastic ties. To distract him, she brings up Chloe again, his girlfriend who died. But Richard isn't stupid. He knows what she's doing. Still, she manages to free one hand and stabs at him. The car swerves and crashes into a tree. Both are hurt, but it's chaos now. Iris tries to strangle him with the seatbelt, but he leans the seat back just in time. They fight, rolling out of the car, covered in dirt and blood. Then comes the twist. Richard tells her she's been injected with something. In 20 minutes, her body will be frozen. She won't be able to speak or move, but she'll still be awake, still feel everything. That's next level horror. She panics, runs, sets a timer on her watch for 20 minutes, and rushes into the woods. But her body is already betraying her. Her hands start to feel numb. One leg stops working properly. Richard's hunting her, but she hides under tree roots. Just when you think she's safe, ants crawl on her face. She flinches. That tiny movement gives her away. Richard spots her. She runs, jumps into a river. He yells after her that the current is strong. It could kill her. He's not wrong. The river pulls her hard, but somehow she makes it to the edge, gasping, wet, exhausted. She checks her watch. Just 1 minute left. She drags herself across the ground and sees a farm nearby. Salvation. She reaches it, but just as she gets there, her body shuts down. She can't move at all, not even scream. She's paralyzed, but her eyes can still blink. The old man on the farm is trimming grass when he spots her. He runs over, shocked. She's lying there like a statue. He starts asking questions. Can you hear me? Can you see me? She blinks once for yes, then twice when he asks if she can move. That's a no. He understands. Right away, he promises to help. He brings a trolley, lifts her carefully, and wheels her inside. But then, a knock on the door. Iris starts blinking rapidly. She knows it's Richard. The old man notices. He hides her behind the sofa and goes to open the door. And yep, it's him. Richard starts lying smoothly, says he had a car crash, that his wife ran off after a fight, claims she's mentally unstable, says she might be pretending. The old man looks unsure, but says he's calling the cops. Richard doesn't care. He walks in anyway. An old man, standing firm like someone's grandpa, who seemed too much to be fooled. He tells Richard to leave the house, but Richard, he flips the script. Suddenly, he's all tears and drama, acting like a heartbroken husband just looking for his wife. He even notices the trolley, and that's when his eyes narrow. Something's not adding up. The old man almost spills the truth, like when you're this close to confessing something because the vibe feels off. But then buzz, Richard's phone vibrates. The old man tilts his head and goes, "Didn't you say you didn't have a phone?" Boom. Game over. Richard drops the fake tears. His smile vanishes like Wi-Fi during a storm. Now he's serious. Real scary. He demands to know where Iris is. He even threatens the old man. But this old man isn't someone who backs down. He stares Richard dead in the eye and says, "Try me." Then he grabs his phone and calls the cops. Richard snaps. He attacks. It's messy. But shockingly, the old man fights back like a retired wrestler, throws punches, holds his ground, until Richard grabs a knife and, just like that, stabs him. The old man drops. He's gone. Behind the sofa, Iris watches everything. Her only hope just died right in front of her. And now she knows for sure. Richard is way more dangerous than she thought. But then, a small miracle. Her finger twitches. She's slowly coming back. Richard, now sweating and wild-eyed, searches every inch of the house. But somehow, he misses the one spot that matters, the back of the sofa. Iris stays still, barely breathing, praying he doesn't see her. Then, sirens. Police are coming. Richard panics. He grabs kerosene and starts pouring it all over like he's playing some sick video game. He lights a match. The house goes up in flames, and he thinks Iris already burned with it. Outside, he jumps into the old man's truck. Just when he's about to drive off, something catches his eye. The window blinds inside, they're twitching, back and forth, like Morse code. His face changes. He knows she's alive. He rushes back in, moves the sofa, and there she is, Iris, alive but weak. He lifts her like some villain in a final level and throws her into the truck. He mutters, if she hadn't moved those blinds, she would have turned to ash. And if she just listened, no one would have died. Then he speeds away. On the road, his phone rings again. It's his daughter, Lizzie. She's just a regular school kid, excited to share her test results. She says she and Mom are planning a trip to Old Cubby. Richard freezes. That's exactly where he's heading. Iris hears this too. And finally, things click. Richard's not some broken guy mourning his dead girlfriend. He's married. He has a daughter. A whole new life. His wife gets on the phone, says they'll meet him there tonight. Richard tries to stop her, tells her not to come, but she doesn't listen. She's already on the way. Now he's panicking again. And to make things worse, his truck is almost out of gas. He pulls over at a station. The card machine's down, so he goes inside to pay. In the car, Iris gets a little more movement in her hand, enough to unbuckle the seatbelt. A small kid, maybe 10 or so, walks by and sees her. But before he can ask anything, his mom yanks him back. She takes one good look at Iris and knows something is wrong. She calls the cops. Just then, Richard comes back. He jumps in and drives off before anyone can stop him. His mind is spinning now. He heads back to where he had his first crash, the place he left his old car. He wants to tow it, maybe use it again, but the engine won't start. That's when a police car pulls up. Not just any cop. It's the one who got the call from the woman at the gas station. He checks the truck's plate, and boom, it matches the report. He steps out and calmly asks Richard his name. Without missing a beat, Richard says, Andrew. He even shows fake ID. That's when we find out. Richard isn't even his real name. It's Andrew. The officer looks at him, then at the woman in the car, and asks the question that could blow the whole thing open. Who is she? Andrew, cool as ever, says, She's my wife. She's just drunk and acting crazy. He tells the officer they had a fight, crashed the car, and that some guy named Bill gave him the truck to help tow it. But something's off. The story doesn't sit right. It's like when your friend lies about doing homework, but you know they're making it up. Just then, Iris finally gets enough strength to roll the window down a bit. She whispers, "Help me." Her voice is weak, but the cop hears it. He bends down to check, and boom, right there, he spots a syringe on the floor. It's the one Andrew was going to use to knock her out again. The cop reaches for his gun, but it's too late. Andrew hits him hard on the head. One blow, the officer drops, gone. Andrew wastes no time. He shoves the body into the car and blows it up. Fire everywhere. No evidence, no witnesses, just smoke and silence. He grabs Bill's truck and drives off again. But this time, Iris isn't helpless. She had managed to grab the syringe and hide it. While they drive, Iris looks over and says, "Calm but cold. Things aren't really going your way anymore, huh?" Andrew snaps. "Shut up." But Iris keeps going. She tells him he only grabs women like her to feel strong, because for 2 months, he had been stuck in bed, weak and useless. That hit a nerve. Andrew explodes. He yells that he was strong before that, and now the plan's changed. No more hiding in some cabin. Now he's taking her out to the middle of the ocean and dumping her there. Just toss her off the boat like trash? He says earlier, he only wanted to have fun with her before his family showed up, but now she's just a problem. They reach the shore, waves crashing. It's quiet but heavy. At just the right second, Iris stabs the syringe into his leg, but her hand is still weak. She can't press the plunger. Her thumb won't work. Andrew, furious, rips it out and tosses it into the water. He drags her to the boat like a sack of clothes and sets sail deep into the ocean, far from shore. That's when Iris sees something. A knife on his belt. Her heart pounds. She knows this is her only shot. She suddenly starts crying, acting scared and soft. She tells him, "Please, just take out my son's toy from my pocket. I want to hold it one last time." Andrew buys it. He leans in. And just like that, Iris grabs the knife and stabs him in the neck. Blood pours out. He gasps, pulls out his gun. But before he can shoot, Iris shoves the boat hard. He loses balance and falls straight into the ocean. Splash. He struggles, tries to climb back up. But Iris grabs the gun and fires. One bullet hits. He falls back into the water, hurt and sinking. She thinks it's finally over. But then, she sees the boat is leaking. Turns out, one of her bullets hit it. Water rushes in. She tries to move, but her body's still numb from the drug. She sinks under the water. Everything's dark. She's seconds away from drowning. Then, just in time, the drug starts to wear off. She can move again. She swims up, gasping for air. She sees land. She sees Andrew too, barely alive, lying on the shore, bleeding and broken. Iris walks up to him. She looks at him, calm but cold. "Thank you," she says. Then she walks away. No screaming, no revenge speech, just silence. She lets the ocean finish the rest. And that's how the story ends. Iris, a woman drowning in pain and guilt over her son's death, was ready to end her life. But fate had other plans. That's when she met Andrew, a man so twisted. He didn't want her dead yet. He wanted to use her, control her, because she reminded him of someone he once loved and lost. But Iris wasn't weak. She fought, not with muscles, but with her mind, her courage. And that's why she survived. What would you have done in her place? Let us know in the comments.